Good morning, guys. How is everyone doing? I'm just setting up on YouTube really quickly, and then I will. Ooh, I don't like hearing myself. Okay, so we're live on YouTube. I'm actually gonna turn on our chat so that you guys can actually put your questions or concerns or whatever in the chat itself, because I know usually we have that turned off. Um, All right, I think we're good to go. So today is going to be a pretty informal session, honestly, because this is our second last session. The last session we're going to have is August 3rd, I think, and that's going to be on placement testing. And that is typically only for our undergraduate students. So if you're a master's student watching this, you don't have to attend that session. It's optional. But that's going to be our last session, and then I cannot believe that it's already July 30th. Orientation is literally in 2 weeks. This summer flew by, you guys. That's insane. I can't believe summer's over. But I am really happy to see a few new names here today. I see a lot of familiar names, so welcome back. For those that are new here, my name is PJ Gurung. I'm the Assistant Director for Strategic Communications and Recruitment at the Kearney International Center at MSU. If you have received emails about like WhatsApp, stuff like that, that's usually coming from me. I also help out with on-the-ground recruitment. I do a lot of stuff around the office. And I am really excited that you guys are going to be on campus very soon. It is pretty hot in Minnesota right now, but fall's around the corner, and fall is extremely beautiful in Minnesota. So I'm really excited that you guys are going to be here in the fall. Today is going to be an orientation overview, which means I am just going to take you guys through the orientation schedule, what to expect, what to bring to orientation, of course, on the day of for check-in, and also kind of tell you guys why it's important that you have to attend orientation. It's not an optional session. You must attend orientation. It's mandatory. You don't have to RSVP or anything, but we expect that you're here on August 17th for the first day of orientation for check-in purposes. It's also for immigration purposes, and so this is not just something that you can skip out. I know it can be a fairly overwhelming experience, at least in my experience. When I first came here as an international student, I was extremely scared and nervous about what to expect, but our team here does an incredible job of not only, I guess, formulating the orientation in a way that is helpful for you. It is very information dense, so that's definitely something that I do tell students, is that there's going to be a lot of information thrown at you in that 5-day period, and it's a lot of information. However, it's important for you to know that we're here to help you through that exact process. So if you are confused about something and you see me around, feel free to flag me down and ask me to clarify it for you. That's why we're here. And I will be with the rest of our team. You'll get to meet your immigration advisors. They're going to be a glue that binds you and ensures that you're staying in status. They'll also be reaching out to you, and it's going to be a lot of information. We do already have finalized our orientation schedule. Again, please do note that with orientation, the schedule is subject to change until August 16th. However, most of it has been finalized now. So I'm going to put that in the chat for you guys on our website that you can share with your family if they have questions. We also have updated our KIC portal. So if you wanted to go there and look at the schedule, you absolutely can. I guess the one thing I do want to ask is if you guys had any questions as you're preparing to come to the United States for your college experience. So if you have any questions, any concerns, let me know in the comments. Like, I've been in your shoes before and it's an overwhelming experience, but I always tell students that your college experience is what you make it. We are here to help support you through your journey. We're here to answer your questions. We're here to provide you with resources. However, ultimately, what you make of your college experience is completely up to you. And so remember that. Remember to have an open mind. You're going to be meeting students from literally all over the world. And sometimes you might hear things that you're not used to. But just know that we all come from very different backgrounds, which is wonderful because you get to share your culture and your experiences and your food with other people. I am still friends with people that I met during orientation. It's been 10 years and I'm still friends with them. Orientation is a great time to make friends because you're essentially all starting at the same starting line and you're all on the same boat. And I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to have a very similar experience of being nervous. So with that, I am actually going to share my screen really quickly and show you guys what your KIC portal is going to look like and what I would recommend that you prep for. So here is what the orientation schedule is going to look like. I am going to do that. All right. So once you're in your KIC portal, if you're a graduate student, yours is going to look a little bit different. And so just keep that in mind. Your schedule might be slightly different is what I mean. So if you go to your KIC portal right now and you log in, I was going to say by show of hands, but we're not in a classroom. How many of you guys have already taken a look at the international orientation schedule? I know we haven't finalized it. We finalized it fairly recently, but if you just do MNSC International Orientation, this should pop up. This also includes all of the information that's on the KIC portal. However, the KIC portal has a lot more information on tips and tricks that we have for you guys, housing links. If any of you guys were in our housing webinar, there's some links here as well, but you can always go to our YouTube channel and look at our older videos as well if you have questions. However, once you get to the KIC portal, and if you're not able to view this page right now, right this instant, that's totally fine. We still have all of the information on our website itself. Now, as you can see, there's a few different dates on here. As you guys already know, we expect that you guys are in Mankato by August 16th so that you can check in on August 17th for orientation, which is this day right here. If you are coming to Mankato anytime between August 13th to August 16th, please do know that we will have welcome drivers that can help you. However, the welcome drivers are only available to help students once you arrive in Mankato. They cannot pick you up from the Minneapolis airport. They're not going to do pickups that far. However, once you get to Mankato, we do have welcome drivers that are available to help you. They can help pick you up from the shuttle stop on campus and bring you to your apartment or hotel, wherever you're staying. They can also help take you to the grocery store if you're someone that's living off campus. They can also pick you up after. This is only available between August 13th to 16th, so please do ensure that you're looking at the dates correctly. However, if you go on the KIC portal as well, that information is also going to be on here. Since I do see a few newer names, when you're flying in, you're going to be flying into the Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport. Usually, if it's an international flight, it's going to be Terminal 1 because Minneapolis Airport, there's two terminals. There's Terminal 1 and Terminal 2. All international flights come through to Terminal 1, but just make sure you look at your ticket carefully just so you know exactly which terminal you're stopping at. The Mankato is about an hour and a half away from MSP, and so a lot of times I know students will want to get Uber or Lyft. That's going to be extremely expensive and also really hard to find because an Uber would have to drive an hour and a half with you to Mankato and then drive an hour and a half back, likely without somebody in the car. So you're usually going to have a really hard time finding an Uber or Lyft, and it's also going to be very expensive. And so we always recommend the Atlantic Air Express. They are a shuttle service that operates services between Mankato, St. Peter, which is like about 20 minutes away from Mankato, to Minneapolis Airport. And they also make some stops along the way depending on where people have checked in. Now, the reason why we recommend Atlantic Air Express is you can get a shuttle service one way anywhere between $5 to $37, and it's very inexpensive for the service that they provide. They're usually a newer bus as well. They usually have charging ports. A lot of them have free Wi-Fi, and it's only an hour and a half. However, it's still an hour and a half, and if you're traveling internationally, you're likely going to be very tired, likely very jet lagged. So you could definitely take a look at it. If you already have your tickets, I encourage you to take a look so we can put down MSP. For this instance, I'm gonna say Terminal 1, and then when you hit Mankato, there's going to be two options here. One that says Mankato Depot and then Mankato MNSU. You're going to want to pick MNSU. That's going to be on campus that they're going to drop you off. If you do the depot, it's going to be downtown. It's further away from apartments. I guess it also depends on where you end up living, right? If you're living in the dorms, you're going to want to do MNSU. If you have an apartment off campus that's closer to the depot, you could do depot, but typically most students are going to pick MNSU. For the case of this today, I'm going to do August 13th, one passenger. They do have few times here, as you can see. Ooh, they actually have a lot of times here, which is great. So they usually operate from 5 a.m. until 9:30 p.m. And so depending on when you're getting off, obviously, once you get off the plane, once you land, you're also going to need to account for getting your baggage, getting through Customs and Border Patrol. So once you account for that, pick one that fits best. If you are landing, let's say at midnight, there's no shuttles at midnight. What we usually encourage students to do is get a hotel close by. There's a lot of affordable options for hotels next to the airport. And the great thing about most of the hotels next to the airport is they actually do free pickups from the airport, and they'll also drop you off at the airport the next day, depending on what time you need to get to the airport. The one thing I will say, a full disclaimer, is not all hotels might offer this service, or they might only offer it during limited hours. So always make sure that the hotel that you book at offers that service and that it's free. I usually only go for free services. Obviously, you could also just Uber back to the airport to get to the shuttle as well. But if there is a free shuttle service, I would usually go with that. And then yes, it will tell you where they pick you up and what time you're gonna get back at Mankato. Obviously, the prices are different ranges, right? You can see $27 upwards to $40. There's even a $20. I've even seen rates as low as $11 one way. The great thing about Atlantic Air also, and a lot of students use this service, is once you're in Mankato, if you wanted to go to the cities with your friends for the weekend, I've seen a lot of international students who don't have a car yet or a driver's license yet get Atlantic Air over to the cities for the weekend, and then they come back on Sunday. So that is definitely something I've seen a lot of students do. especially if you don't have a car or you don't have your driver's license yet. But I encourage you to use this service to get to Mankato. Once you get to Mankato, like I said, we do have students that are going to assist you with picking you up from the shuttle service where they drop you off and bring you to where your apartment is on campus, like around Mankato. Or if you're on campus, if your shuttle is bringing you to campus, it's going to be really easy for you to navigate to your residential halls. Orientation. So now we've kind of gone through the process of you're already in Mankato and you're gearing up for check-in. I would look at the schedule for each day. We've kind of sectioned it off into bachelor students and master's students, and each day kind of has different schedules. Now, we do have a lot of optional sessions for grad students. However, I really encourage graduate students to still attend these events because these are great events for you to socialize and meet other students. So check-in is starting bright and early on August 17th at 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. in CSU 245. I know that this is likely going to be very confusing for a lot of you guys, as I'm like saying like, oh, we're gonna meet in Wicking Hall. Like, you guys don't know where that it is yet. And that's totally fine. We will have peer mentors, so they're usually going to be in yellow t-shirts like the one that you see on the screen here. They are here to help you throughout orientation week. So they will help you get from one building to the next depending on where you need to go. They'll help you get to the cashier's office to pay your insurance. They will help you get from one building to placement testing if you need to take placement testing. So you will see a lot of peer mentors around that will help you throughout the week. So don't be nervous, don't be too scared, because we will have support for you, and we will also have staff around. So if you see me around and you need to get somewhere and you feel like you're lost, feel free to ask me questions. I'm more than happy to answer those for you and just also help you get to the right place. During orientation check-in, these are the documents that we encourage you to come with. So you need to bring your physical passport, not a picture, not a photocopy, your actual physical passport with the F1 visa stamp. We're going to want to see that to verify that you are who you say you are and you actually have the visa. The other thing that we're going to want you to also print out is your I-94. If you don't know what an I-94 is, that's totally fine. We will also help you get that information downloaded and access it the day of orientation if you don't know what that is, but you won't be able to get an I-94 until you've entered the United States. So the I-94 is essentially your travel history. So this is kind of what it looks like. This is where we would ask you to go and get your recent I-94. But again, you need to have entered the US in order to even access it. And what this basically will tell us is you've entered the United States on like, let's say August 13th. It will all show up, and it's all recorded information on here. So you're gonna want to bring that with you. Okay. So passport, physical passport with your visa, your I-94, which again you won't be able to get until you're in the United States, and your I-20. Printed and signed. That's what we're going to need to see when you're here on campus. Now, there are a few different support sessions for you throughout the week that you could attend if you wanted to. So the technology sessions are going to be really helpful in helping you understand the online platforms that we use, what softwares we use, to help you get familiar before you even start. When I first started here, back home in my home country, we didn't really use a lot of these tools to submit your assignments or quizzes or things like that. So these sessions were really helpful for me to get familiar before even going to my very first class. So I highly encourage you to attend these if you have the time to do so. And if you don't, I would make time to go to these sessions. We also have the ITS Help Desk support. They are here to help you with if you are unable to get into your e-services, if you cannot access your math mail, for some reason you can't access the Wi-Fi. They are here to help you through that process, and they are going to be on campus to help you with that. And if you don't know where the CSU basement is, that's totally fine. You will find our peer mentors in purple or yellow shirts, and they'll be able to take you there as well, especially if you're having issues. The orientation schedule is also here. It's going to start bright and early on August 17th, like I said. We do have a few socialization, I guess socialization might not be the right word, but you know what I mean. You get to meet other people. We'll have bingo and pizza. I really encourage you to attend it. It gets really competitive. I love bingo. I don't know if you guys do, but I love bingo. And it gets really competitive during orientation week because we do have prizes available. There's free pizza. You just get to hang out and play some games, and it's a good way to end the day on Monday. Tuesday, there's some technology sessions as well, like Monday. The one session that I recommend for you guys to attend is Learn to Ride the Bus. If you guys are not aware, we do have buses that run around in Mankato. They are free for students to attend. You just need to show them your MAP card, which is your student ID card, which you will be able to make for free once you're on campus. This kind of looks like that. Mine looks a little different because I have the older version. You guys get the newer, cooler version with the new branding. So lucky you guys, but you're just going to need this to get on the bus. But we will be showing you how to ride the bus, how to stop the bus, things like that. Some things that you don't really think about but are really useful before you start classes. Tuesday, we have a lot of, again, fun stuff for you guys to attend. So I really encourage you to do so. We'll have a rec center tour. And if you don't know what the rec center is, that's our recreational center. So that's going to be our gym, where our indoor swimming pool is, our running track, how to utilize those services. Because again, they are free for you as long as you have your MAP card with you. So we'll take you to the gym. We'll take you to where the indoor track is, where the indoor rock wall is. If you guys like rock climbing. We also have an outdoor rock climbing wall, but I don't know if you guys will get to go to that. But we'll take you around campus, and then we're going to end the day on Tuesday with some outdoor games on the PA lawn. There's usually volleyball and some other games. I don't know what the team is planning yet, but I am sure it's going to be a lot of fun. So definitely encourage you to meet that. Wednesday is when we have our welcoming lunch as well as advising sessions. Again, the graduate students, if you're watching, your schedule looks a little different, and I'll show it to you guys in a little bit, but regardless, we do have a welcome lunch on Wednesday for all students that we encourage you to join. It's free lunch. It's with all of our new students, all of the KIC staff, as well as some other student workers that are going to be around. I also manage a team of social Maverick Global ambassadors who will be around with their cameras taking pictures for orientation. So if you see them, please do say hi. Please do. They will likely be going around interviewing students as well for our social media. So they're going to be around. You're going to see them. So I'm really excited for you guys to meet them as well. And then Thursday, again, we have a lot of really important sessions. Thursday is going to be registration day, so you're going to be able to register for classes. And then there's a couple social events. So the ISA welcome event. The ISA is our International Student Association. They are an incredible team, and you will be able to meet our president and vice president of the International Student Association. They will host a welcome event for you guys. You'll get to meet the whole board. And then there's going to be Club Maverick at night that you can also go to if you wanted to. Friday, we have a lot of free fun sessions, so free bowling and billiards. If you guys didn't know, we actually have a location on our campus called the Bullpen, and that is where we have our bowling alley. We also have pool tables. That's also where a lot of students can play video games. There's a lot of board games, things like that. That's a really cool space. We also have a few arcade games that I really like from like back in the day that you can go to and play. So really fun stuff. But we're gonna have free bowling and billiards that day. Highly encourage you to go. Indoor rock wall climbing. If you like rock climbing, this is going to be an amazing session to go to. And again, we also have an outdoor wall, but we're only going to be doing this in the indoor rock wall. So definitely go. And then there's also going to be free ice skating, guys. All Seasons Arena is actually off campus, so it's not on campus. However, we do have an indoor ice skating rink very close to campus. There's going to be free ice skating. Go, have fun. It's always a lot of fun. And Saturday we have a furniture giveaway. I know that when you're coming here, you're not going to have, if you're not getting a furnished apartment, you're likely not going to have a lot of furniture until you buy them. But Saturday is going to be a session where you're going to be able to likely get some stuff that you can use for your apartment. I do see a question. Anonymous asked, are all of the information sessions listed here mandatory or highly encourage you to go? Now, check-in is going to be mandatory, right? We're going to want you to check in. We're going to want you to go to placement testing if you need placement testing still. Check-in is going to be very important. Any of the social events that you see, like rec center tour, outdoor games, bingo and pizza, those are optional if you want to go to. However, I personally, and I know a lot of students, international students that have already gone through the process, are going to say that they really recommend that you go. Obviously, advising sessions are mandatory, right? These sessions are mandatory on Wednesday, so immigration regulation, international health insurance, these are things that you need to know. Registration obviously is mandatory because you need to register for your classes. But some of the more social events like free bowling, ice skating, those are optional, but we really encourage you to go. Check-in though is Monday, again, like I said, 9 a.m. Make sure you have your documents with you, your passport, I-94, I-20, and then we're gonna see you bright and early at 9. You're gonna meet our social media team as well, so they're going to be around, you'll see them. But yeah, that's a great question. We do get that question a lot. And honestly, that's kind of it. We want to see you on Monday. We want to make sure that you're checked in for immigration purposes. If you don't show up and you don't check in, you're likely not going to be able to register for classes or attend school. So very important that you are here on Monday for check-in. And yeah, that's honestly kind of it. I did want to show you guys where the bus will drop you off or the shuttle will drop you off. How do I do this? MNSU red. Yeah, so you will get dropped off right around here. When you get in your shuttle and you come to Mankato, the bus stop is really close to, is really close to the red wave that you see on here. This is where you get dropped off. The building that you see in the back is the library, and then right on the right side of this red wave is the Centennial Student Union. That's the building you're going to want to be in for check-in purposes. I can't type today. All right, just to show you guys on the map itself, right here. So the bus will drop you off right here. That's where you get dropped off from the Land to Air shuttle. And then this is the building that you're going to want to be in for check-in on Monday, which is the Centennial Student Union. This is where we will have most of our sessions, and then when we do need to take you guys to placement testing or for other stuff, we will have peer mentors that will help you get there and back if you need to. Anonymous asked, the I-94 form says we have to appear at a port of entry within 7 days of completing this online application. Does this mean we apply before landing in the States? As far as I know, you don't have to apply for it in anything. You will be able to access it after you've already come through the port of entry. And what that essentially looks like is once you've already come to the United States, you've already gone through the port of entry and you're coming in for check-in, we're going to have you go here, and you can do this on the day of check-in. If you want to do it the day before, up to you, but you're essentially going to come here, and this is after you've already gone through the port of entry. You're going to put your information, your passport number, your country of citizenship, date of birth, all of that information here, and then access the I-94. You don't have to do anything right now, so don't worry about it. But that's a great question. Any other questions? And again, I really encourage you guys to take a look at the KISU portal up until the day of orientation, or even the night before, because we will continue to make changes if there's any changes that need to be made. As you can see on here, it says so on the website, subject to change until August 16th. So just make sure you're double checking everything, make sure you look at the locations. We're gonna see you in CSU 245. And then from there, we'll check you in, you'll go through some briefing sessions. If you need to go to placement testing, we'll take you to placement testing. If you need to pay, again, the one thing that I will say right now is you are going to have to pay for your health insurance. And this is something that we've mentioned in all of our webinars, is you will have to pay for your student health insurance during the first week of orientation. So make sure you have the funds to pay for your health insurance, otherwise you will not be able to register for classes. So just make sure you bring the funds for it. What do meals look like during orientation? So, orientation, that's a great question for our retention team. However, most of the meals you're gonna have to get yourself. We will have coffee sometimes and snacks in the check-in rooms for you guys to have, so like croissants, coffee, things like that. Wednesday, the welcome lunch, again, you don't have to worry about lunch that day because we'll have lunch for you guys already. And then obviously there are some days where we will have like free pizza. So Monday we have the bingo and pizza night, so you'll have free pizza that day. But I would just make sure you have extra cash on you as well for food and everything that week. Scarlett asked, what if we already paid online for health insurance? If you've already paid online, you're perfectly good to go. You don't have to worry about paying. Just make sure you let us know during check-in that you've already paid your health insurance. That way we can kind of make note of it. But if you've already paid for it, great job. You're good to go for that piece. Yeah, that's the one thing that we always tell students to bring. So you're good. Any other questions? You guys have really great questions. But again, you guys know where to find the schedule, all of that. So all right, I'm gonna assume that you guys don't have any questions. However, if you do, you guys know where to find me. You guys can also obviously go to the KISU portal and take a look at the schedule, or also go to our MNSU website and look for the orientation schedule as well. With that, we are so excited to welcome you guys on campus. It's fairly warm in Minnesota at the moment, and so I'm hoping that we're August orientation week is also good weather. We have a lot of outdoor stuff planned for you guys for social events, so it's going to be good. We're also doing a lot of campus tours. I highly recommend that you do the campus tours because one of the sessions I think is on Thursday or Friday, where we will do a find your class tour. So this will be after you've already registered for classes and you have your schedule. You will be working with our student worker, and they'll take you around campus and they will tell you how to get to your class. They will help you find your class. That's literally the title of the session. They'll help you find your class so that the first day of classes you are not lost, you know where to go. Because trust me, I have made the mistake of sitting in the wrong class, and it was pretty awkward because I sat down and then I was like, actually, after the professor started, I was like, actually, this is not my class. So that can happen. Definitely recommend that you go to that tour. The ISA Welcome event is also going to be another one that I really encourage you to go, because you'll be able to meet the current president and vice president of the International Student Association and other current international students. So you might even be able to meet other students that are from the same country as you, or better yet, expand your horizon and make friends from different cultures. It's a very wonderful experience. You guys can share food together. It's always nice. But again, the schedule is online. Check for it until August 16th, just to make sure we haven't updated anything or changed any locations. The schedule is also on the KIC portal. If you have questions, you guys know where to find me. You can WhatsApp me, or you can also email me. Email is usually better, because I can get to emails quicker than WhatsApp, believe it or not. And our last session, our last pre-arrival session, this is not for graduate students, but this is for undergraduate students. We will have our final placement testing webinar. So definitely recommend attending that. And then honestly, after that, it's gonna be quick. Thank you, Tracy. And then, oh, one more thing. Our Instagram is where we will post a lot of orientation countdown videos, advice, tips, and tricks. We are fairly active on our Instagram account, so that is going to be KICMNSU. I just posted that in the chat. That's our handle. Follow us on Instagram. We will be doing a lot of giveaways. We will post orientation countdowns, back to school essentials, and we do a lot of trending videos as well, and our social media team has a lot of fun. And you will meet my social media team during orientation. They'll be around taking photos, interviews, videos, so I hope you guys will be okay with getting your photos taken, and I hope you guys are going to be willing to be in our videos for our interviews, giveaways, things like that. So definitely keep an eye on that and follow us on Instagram. We have the same handle on TikTok, KICMNSU. And if you're someone who was not in any of our older webinars, for some reason, I am going to share our YouTube channel right now in the chat, and you can watch some of our older live sessions that we've done in the past. And these live sessions can range from finding housing, traveling to Mankato, registration. There's a lot of very important topics we've covered in our previous pre-arrivals, so definitely go and watch it if you were not in our older sessions. With that, thank you so much for attending this session. We are so excited to meet you guys, and we look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks. Please do come and say hi. If you see me around campus during check-in, I would love to put a face to a name. And I will see you guys for our last placement testing webinar next week. Have a good day, have a good evening, have a good night.